Markets surged last week after Jerome Powell signaled a dovish pivot at Jackson Hole. Here's what happened last week. Treasury yields fell, the dollar broke down, and gold, crypto, and equities rallied. Small caps jumped more than 3% while mega-cap tech lagged. At the same time, Washington confirmed a 10% U.S. equity stake in Intel to secure chip making, and Trump held meetings with Putin in Alaska before following up with Zelensky and European leaders at the White House, where talks focused on security guarantees and a potential direct Putin-Zelensky summit. Markets heard one thing. Rate cuts are back on the table. The 2-year yield dropped 12 basis points, the Dow hit new records, and Bitcoin and gold rebounded. This shift fits the usual cycle. More debt, easier money, weaker dollar, and higher asset prices. It's why the Nasdaq now trades at 145% of M2 money supply, above dot-com peaks, and why speculation is alive in meme stocks and crypto. The pivot was striking because Fed minutes just days earlier emphasized inflation risks and warned asset prices were stretched. Powell flipped the script, putting jobs at the center. By week's end, the Dow rose 1.5%, the S&P gained 0.3%, while the Nasdaq slipped 0.6%. Ethereum outpaced Bitcoin, rising 7% as Bitcoin slipped. Among movers, Dayforce surged 31%, Paramount Skydance jumped 17%, and Palantir sank 10%. Nvidia and Palantir dragged tech. This week, all eyes turned to Nvidia's earnings, with the stock nearly doubling since April and accounting for almost 8% of the S&P 500. Options traders are bracing for a 6% swing, enough to move the entire index. Alongside that, investors will digest PCE inflation, GDP revisions, and global data from China, Japan, Canada, and Europe. Want weekly recaps like this and a heads up on what could move markets next? Click the link below and subscribe to the Level Fields newsletter. It's fast, free, and built for investors who don't want to miss a beat. Follow and subscribe for more. Level Fields, Elite Investing, Effortless AI.